So let's go into the introduction screen. Again, welcome to our presentation. My name is Ken Kingsbury, and I am one of the senior sales representatives at Asprodental. I have the distinct pleasure of having worked with dental offices now for nearly 40 years. Started back in 1985. I've seen a lot of technology in those years and have worked with a lot of different legacy programs, seen a lot of benefits. If you had asked me 10 years ago how I felt about cloud solutions, I might have been on the fence. But in the last 5 years that I've been very intimately involved, I've begun to see really the amazing advantage to using cloud technology, and we're going to get more into that in detail. I also want to introduce my two team members, Ronnie Diamond and Jackie Mumolo. They are client satisfaction and client success specialists, and they're going to take a little moment further on in the presentation to talk a little bit about the what happens after you decide you want to join us here at Asprodental and switch from your older software to ours. And they are very amazing team players. I am honored to have them backing up myself and the software. They come from extensive backgrounds in dental offices and really understand that whole process. So we're going to be looking at benefits, looking at features, and also analyzing the implementation process, and then looking at some of the testimonials and such. And then at the very end of our presentation, we're going to have a Q&A. So at any time you have any questions that pop up, please put them in the Q&A or the chat, and we'll do our best to try to answer all those. There's also going to be contact information at the end for how to get in touch with Asprodental, how to get in touch with myself if you want to set up a further presentation or demo to look at it in more detail. And we really appreciate you coming and spending some time with us. So I want to talk just a little bit about, I want to get in and look and obviously show you the software, and that's going to happen really, really quickly. But I want to just talk a little bit about some of the benefits that I see with cloud. And the first in there is improved efficiency and productivity. There are potentially a lot of reasons that an office can get bottlenecks, where an office can get behind the ball a little bit. But one of the ones that I've seen time and time again has been older software that has just become difficult to learn, difficult to get functionality and features from that make sense. And when you have something that's difficult to use or requires lots of windows and clicks and myriads of ways to get things done, that is going to cause an office to start to back up and get behind. And so we're going to be looking at today is something that I find to be very simple and easy. You're also going to be moving into a technology where your enhanced data security and backup is really now going into a whole different realm. You know, our backbone is Amazon Web Services. They are one of the largest cloud providers out there. They work with companies like Apple and Harvard Medical School and Netflix and banking systems. And these are very, very high profile, thousands of employees, lots of things going on. So as a developer of practice management software in this environment, we're happy to say that we get to piggyback on top of some of the most amazing IT support out there. So your security, your HIPAA compliance, your backups, your software updates, all being handled in the background. This is a huge, huge piece. And what that brings in the cloud, and it's worth just taking a moment to look at, is the accessibility from anywhere, anytime, with the caveat that you as the doctor, the owner of the practice, office manager, you can control when your team members can log in and what their privileges are, meaning what they can and can't do. So it's not like it's just carte blanche, but the ability to access this information from anywhere on any kind of device is just a game changer. The ability to collaborate, the ability to sometimes, if you need to work from home, or if you live a long ways away, sometimes that's been a deal breaker for somebody staying with the practice no longer. So enhanced data security, accessibility from anywhere, anytime. We have a great streamlined appointment scheduling system, both in office and online scheduling and patient management, meaning that how we handle our communications with patients, how we handle things like consent forms that need to be signed, health histories, medical and dental consent forms, all of that. These are really powerful tools that are simple and easy and built right into our program. And of course, with any program, you can't do everything. So we're going to be working with some other integrative capabilities with other programs like e-claims and clearinghouses, or e-prescribe for electronic prescriptions. So the ability to interface with these other third-party companies is really important. And the development that's going on out there right now is in the cloud. It's in the web. It's very few people now that are trying to integrate with legacy server-based systems out there. Still happens, but it's becoming fewer and fewer. So as technology updates, and I'd say the latest is AI technology for diagnosing x-rays, this is going to be a lot easier to implement with a cloud environment. And of course, the thing, I just got off a presentation earlier today with an office. Their server is about to go. It's not, and I don't laugh out of any animosity there. It's just that servers can be tricky. They're expensive. They require expensive IT support. There's lots of headaches there. So the ability to alleviate that and now have access just through a simple browser is another game changer that I think most of you can probably relate to. Scalability. If you are an office that's looking at adding a second location or a mobile clinic, that has always been very challenging with a database-driven, local server-driven system, because that's going to be a lot of cost. It's going to be having data in multiple places and having to figure out how to bring those together. With a good cloud system, you can add these extra locations or things, and then it's as simple as clicking on a location and a doctor and being able to get in and get that data without having to deal with that. And cost effectiveness is really about eliminating so many of these things that I see in other programs that are server based, especially where you've got to go out and find somebody that's going to handle things like online scheduling, consent forms, appointment reminders, texting, all those kind of things that can add cost and complexity, can help with the cost effectiveness of something that has all that under one umbrella. Analytics, again, especially if you're in a multiple location, the ability to collate that data and get at it. And then platform neutral is just something that I've noticed over the years, that if you're a Mac lover, you're not necessarily a PC lover, and vice versa. Well, this doesn't matter anymore. You can be on any platform you want. Doesn't matter if it's an iPhone or an Android or an iPad or a Chromebook. And that can really help an office to be able to use the technology that fits best for a particular team member. So let's go ahead and move into the next screen. We're going to now jump into the program. I'm going to give an overview presentation. I'll get into as much as I can, but I also want to encourage anyone who is interested in maybe diving a little bit deeper, that I have contact information at the end of this slideshow, and please reach out, or you can go to Asprodental website, and there'll be a link there I can show you, and you can set up a time to ask me questions or do another presentation. So let's go ahead and go on into the program. So one of the things that I like to point out when we go into the appointment book, which is really sort of the core piece to any good program out there, is that one of the first things you might notice across the bottom of the screen is that we are tracking in real time your production goals, your gross and net collections, your new patients, your hygiene patients. And as that information is updated throughout the day, that information across the bottom is also updated. And as you reach your goals, you're going to see that we are going to give you instantaneous reinforcement as that goes. And this can be really great. So I just want to, again, reiterate, you don't have to run a report to get this information. It's running live all the time at the bottom of the screen. The other thing that we talked about earlier is the ability, if you want to expand out, how easy it is to add multiple locations and then jump back and forth between those locations. You can even move patients by dragging and dropping. It's very easy, very simple, and that's what we mean by scalability. We've also built in a time clock for keeping track of team member time. And then one of the features that I'm particularly fond of is the ability to jump in here to the mini calendar and be able to just drag and drop my mouse across it and look at multiple days at a time, where I can then drag and drop an appointment somewhere else if I need to move them. I can go up here, I can select Wednesdays, and now I'll be looking at all Wednesdays. So there's a lot of flexibility in navigation, and I have not seen that too often in other programs. So rather than having to drag the appointment, which you can still do, to the top and dock it, and then go off to find another appointment, that allows really quick access to be able to drag and drop. So that's just more power, more flexibility in the scheduling. We also have the ability to drop things to printer. You know, that still happens from time to time. You can automatically set incognito mode for HIPAA compliance if you want names to not be on the screen if it's in a sensitive area. You have a list of patients right here that you can get alerted if there's an appointment cancellation. Very, very powerful. Your full list of patients here, and then all of your two-way texting, again, built in, unlimited to the program, is right there where it should be on one of the most important screens of your program, which is the scheduling. Not only can you do two-way texting with your patients, but they can send you images, front and back of an insurance card, maybe a chip on their tooth that they take a picture of, that's automatically then loaded into our document center. So a lot of advantages there. I'm going to go ahead and just create a new patient appointment. I won't fill everything out here, but I'm going to pick on my associate, but I'm just going to call her Jackie Mums today because she's already in the program. And I'm going to create a quick birthday for her. And I'm going to use her actual cell phone that I can send out an appointment reminder automatically. And I can show you then how quickly that information is found and sent back. You'll notice that I can change providers on the fly. I've got the ability to go in and put appointment notes that will follow this appointment. I have custom tags that you guys can set up yourself. And then really easy to put in any kind of a code or shortcut to create the appointment. When this appointment is created, it's going to automatically do a lot of things. It's going to, send out reminders and things like that. But I want to just do this on the fly because I want Jackie to be able to respond and show you how quickly that information comes back into our program. So you can send out a text reminder, you can send out an email reminder, it doesn't matter. And when that comes back, you now have the ability for two-way texting to be able to set up there. So we'll give that just a second to show up. And you can see that in this, you've got the appointments that are coming, thank yous back and forth. I could tell you just a quick story that we have an office that had quite a long chain of communication with a patient. Sometimes that memory of those things can be a little fuzzy for a patient, and the patient was claiming they were never told to come back in to deal with an issue. It was all right there in the text chain. So it doesn't go away. We don't throw it away. It stays there for the life of the office. So I'm going to go ahead and go into this appointment by hovering. And there's a lot of great information that we have available with just one hover on an appointment. We can see the contact information, we can see any appointment notes, we can see who made it, what they're coming in for. And I'm just going to choose check-in to bring us into that patient's profile. And there's a lot of information in here that we can get, including custom questions that we can have our patients answer that we can then utilize with our marketing tool called mass communications. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, but that's a really powerful tool for internal marketing that can be used. Here's your patient intake form. That's going to send out the information for the patient to fill out the rest of the demographics, address, other phone numbers. It also sends out a health history form that can be customized by the office. Again, that is filled in prior to coming into the office and then automatically uploaded in. So there's nothing that you need to do. There's no clicking, there's no copying, there's no re-entering. It's all automatic. And if a patient forgets to do that, you can also choose to sign here, which allows you to go in and hand them an iPad or something else, and then they can fill it out and sign it. I'm also going to click on the forms here. These are all the consent forms that we have inside the system. They are TDIC consent forms, but they are completely capable of being edited, or you can bring in your own. So you have full control of that. Again, I'm going to pick on Jackie here and send her that form so she can sign it. And you'll notice up in the right corner of the system, as she's getting that filled out, that we're now tracking automatically that consent form was sent with the date and the exact time. And when that's finished and she has signed that form, it's going to automatically put that into the document center. And then there's going to be a little check mark on there. And I'm just going to click on that filling form that we filled out to Jackie. It's all there, her signature, the whole thing. It's all real time. And you'll notice that back here on her account, if you click on it, you'll see that there's a check mark. So we're keeping track of when that was completed so that you don't have to run around and figure out, what's been sent and when it was sent and who filled it out and is it done yet. So there's a lot of flexibility there with patient demographics, with health history, with consent, with HIPAA compliant. All that is automatically sent and signed and put into the document folder. I'm going to take a moment to go into our insurance file, and I'm just going to create a really simple insurance plan, California Plan 100, and save it. One of the things that I get a lot of feedback on with offices using other programs is how many windows they have to open in order to see information, whether it's on an insurance file or anything else. We have gotten a lot of really important information on one screen here. So we're looking at maximum coverages, what's been used already by the insurance, deductible information, insurance plan notes, all that, as well as the ability to fill in additional secondary and tertiary insurance. And I just want to let you know that my colleagues here have a lot more intimate interactions with this than I do. So if you guys hear anything that I might miss, please feel free to pipe in. But this is a powerful tool, and we will bring this information over from your current program as part of the conversion process. So a lot of this is going to come over. You won't have to re-enter it, which is great. I'm going to go in now that insurance is set up, and I want to do a little charting. And so I'm going to edit this tooth map initially because you're a brand new patient. Jackie is no longer has her primary in there, so I'm going to take that out. She took out her wisdom teeth quite a bit. ago, and I'm going to take those out. But that can be completely customized by whatever the current situation is. But one of the things that we have that is a powerful tool for Asprodental is a one-page chart, meaning that we can see on one page the periodontal charting, we can see the restorative charting, we can see the treatment plans, we can see the watches, we can see the upcoming appointments, we can see the clinical notes, and we can see the images all on one page. This is really an amazing tool there. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a simple procedure on 230. When I bring 230 up there, there is my standard flagged codes that I use on a regular basis. But as I click on the surfaces, it's going to bring in just the procedures that relate to that. I click again, 2 surface. I click again, 3 surface. So it really helps to make sure that we're getting the right code in when we're doing the charting. And I emphasize that only because there is some challenges going on right now in the dental industry with staffing, with turnover. That's just a reality. I don't like to bring in a reminder of that, but I am a consultant. I've seen this. So sometimes it's necessary to move outside of the dental industry, hospitality, retail, to find people that can work well with the patients, but may not know as much with their dental background. You want simple, easy software to train on, and the charting part of that can also be really important to be able to train easily. I'm going to just drag that 3 surface into a treatment plan position where I can now present that to a patient if I need to. But here's something that's really unique with our software. Because we have this upcoming appointment today, and if we have extra time, we can just drag that into the upcoming appointment without leaving the screen and attach that treatment plan to that cleaning, which is great. It does happen sometimes. And then when I'm checking out now, I'm checking out both those without doing anything other than staying on the screen. When I hit the complete key here, it's bringing in your custom chart notes. They are completely customizable. Anything that you type in, anything that's in those notes, including the notes that we will convert for you from your old software, is searchable. So I just want to say that again. So anything in your chart notes is searchable, meaning that I can find a particular word or phrase, and it'll go right to that chart note, whether it was yesterday or 10 years ago. This is a great feature in our program and really helps save time and effectiveness. Of course, we have our labs and our prescription over here. When I hit save, that information then is automatically updated on the chart. And I'm going to bring you into my chart in a moment. So I have a little bit more work. I always like to tell people it's not really my mouth that you're looking at because there's all kinds of stuff on it. But one of the things that I love about our chart is that you can hover on a tooth and see everything that you've done. You could see pre-existing treatment plans, watches, and things you've completed. So many times I hear people say, wow, I have to go ahead and scroll through a ledger to find all that out, or I have to go through all the clinical notes to find that out. Now you can simply hover to see that. So that's a really great functionality of our program as well. I'm going to click on the ledger now. And because we did the charting on those 2 procedures, they are in there. I'm going to give you just a moment to take it in. I realize that every program has a little different look and feel to their ledger. I find this to be very user-friendly, very easy to read. And if there's anything that needs to be updated on the fly, like, oh, I might have chosen a different doctor, you can update that on the spot. If there's multiple locations, you can update that on the spot. But I'm going to go ahead and hit the create claim. We go through a clearinghouse. It's vine trellis. Just as a thing that I like to let people know is that our relationship with them is such that you get unlimited claims, unlimited attachments at no extra cost. So I just want to say that one more time. Unlimited claims, unlimited attachments. So that's a really powerful piece that's all under just the core of Asprodental. So this allows you to go in, you can check boxes, you can put your narrative in here. We have a simple screen capture paste for putting in attachments. When you're ready to go, you just hit send claim. That is now automatically going to go in to a place where you can go in and let me just move out of the way here. There we go. I just have some of my Zoom controls that are in the way. So we have generated a claim for batch printing at the end of the day. The claim is right here. If I tap on it, it gives me all the details of what's in there. Easy to read. I'm going to now go in and make a payment. We have a great integration with a credit card that allows you to use either a payment or something that I find really powerful is you can set patients up on subscriptions, meaning a payment plan, so that they are automatically billed. They can pay online, and that payment automatically posts to the ledger without anybody having to lift a finger. And that is very powerful. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose payment, and I'll just make a simple $100 payment on this. I'm at home at my home office, so I do not have a terminal set up here. So I'll just go ahead and do what happens sometimes when people call in if their child is in with the credit card. Once this payment is made, by the way, one of the things that I like is that it will automatically come up with what is typically the logical things that someone has to do working on the ledger. Leave that payment as a credit. Pay it against particular outstanding charges. Pay off the newest, pay off the oldest. Now, I know we only have 2 procedures in here. I'll just choose oldest and hit save. So very simply now, we've been able to generate a chart. We've charted 2 procedures. They went automatically into the ledger. We've generated a claim to be batched. We've made a payment. And another feature that I love about our ledger is that I can choose the statement here. If I choose today, it's going to just give me a statement for today's work. If I choose custom, I can go back and do a custom date range. And if I choose account, I can include everybody in that account. So there's a lot of really strong functionality that allows you to generate those things on the fly. So I can see there's some questions starting to stack up. I promise I will get to those as we move through toward the end, but I just want to make sure I'm covering everything for you. So just some quick summarization of what we've covered so far. We have gone into the document folder. We've gone ahead and tracked that the consent form has been generated. It's also going to track any statements and a whole history of statements. It's going to track treatment plans. And if they've been signed and sent out automatically to the patient's email, it's going to track anything you scan and attach or anything that's attached to a patient text that they've sent to the office. We've set up insurance. There's a health history section that, again, I want to reiterate that it can be customizable for the office. That allows, and we are going to track that for you so that when that health history is whatever amount of time works for you, we automatically set it for a year. It's going to remind you on the schedule when that health history has not been updated within that last year, so you can get that sent to a patient or filled out there when they're in the practice. So that's powerful. And we have the ability to chart and do of course, all the information on the patient's profile. I want to talk about some of the additional functionality that we have. And one of the things that I got excited about as a new feature is what we call mass communications. And that's the ability for you to be able to set up any of these campaigns internally without having to go outside into third-party programs. And I'll just show you a sample. This is an Invisalign consult that has been set up. This allows you to go in and you can run a special. You can send it out to your entire database, either by email or text, but you can also find subsets. So some of the stuff that people do with this is they send out birthday cards. Sometimes they'll send out people with patients with treatment plans that haven't used all their benefits. There can be any number of things that you can customize. And this is right now something that is a add-on module. Talk to me a little later because we have some specials that I want to be able to share with you. The other thing that I really love that we have set up is the ability to go into online scheduling. Now I'm seeing more and more offices take advantage of this functionality. We now have it built into the program. It allows you to be able to go in. You'll notice that on the right-hand side over here, we can determine what appointment types we are going to make available. In this case, there's a checkup and cleaning. We have a time frame on there. There's an Invisalign check with a time frame. There's an emergency exam and a new patient exam. Each of these is determined by a number of minutes. You can then assign those appointment types to anywhere it makes sense on your schedule. So I want to keep reiterating that you have complete control over this. So you'll notice here that we have hygiene appointments available to be booked between 9 and 12 and 12 and 5. We have an Invisalign check going from 10 to 11 and a new patient exam that's available from 11 to 1. I want to let you know that this is great because you can take the link to this. It can be on your website. If you have a place that keeps track of your reviews, you can have a link right there. And that allows somebody surfing around for a new doctor to be able to easily click and schedule that appointment. It's a very powerful tool. And because you can control what days of the week, what times, and what types of appointments, so that a new patient or an existing patient can easily book, that's going to save so much time on a front desk person needing to manage that appointment book. You are alerted in your office automatically when an appointment is made with an email that comes. The patient that's making that appointment, new or existing, is going to get a confirmation by text and email. And you're going to be able to see that appointment is made really easily when you're looking at the appointment book. So this is just another way to increase the efficiency and sometimes what can be the bottleneck in the front desk area for doing that. And that, again, is a feature that we've built into the program. We're very excited about it. We're starting to get some great feedback. And so excited to be able to offer that as part of our solution. Some of the other areas that we have in here are dealing with, some of the stuff that you might use on a regular basis, bulk insurance payments that come in, customizing your consents, setting up your office goals, going in and setting up who's working in the office, custom profile questions. I mentioned that earlier. This is powerful because if I come in and I'm a new patient and you're asking me questions like how I feel about my smile, I might say, I'm a little uncomfortable because I have this gap right here. And now, personally, I'm not going to close that gap. I've had it for too long. But if I want to, if I'm interested in cosmetic, that question then can become something that you can query in our mass communications in order to find patients that need that and offer a special or a time that you're doing exams for that kind of thing. We have our reports. Reports are very comprehensive. Day sheets, productivity, hygiene. You're able to easily go in, set up your date ranges on here, and then see that, for instance, down here in this hygiene report, very, very powerful as you scroll through the timeline of how many are completed, how many are scheduled, what your goals were, and then, of course, all the patients that are waiting for recare across the bottom down there that have missed their appointments. So we have a powerful accounts receivable, customizable reports, insurance contact reports, as well as a link and ability to work with dental analytics as well, if you want even to go further with that. So these are all the core pieces, a couple of areas there that are add-on modules. And I'm going to now jump out of the program here because I want to take a moment to talk about another really key area to success with implementation. So there's going to come a time, we hope it's with us, that you decide to move from your older program and go into implementing a new program. But just making that choice does not guarantee a successful process. There's going to be planning. There's going to be a lot of questions that we need to get handled to make sure that's successful. There's going to be data migration. And then there's going to be that initial day that you guys are going live, and then what happens after that. So let's go back into the presentation. And I want to go in a moment and let Jackie and Ronnie talk a little bit about this. And again, I just want to say how excited I am to introduce these guys because they know the dental office. They've worked in it. They've worked on the program. So when it comes to the planning and preparation, they're a part of that. They're going to help an office. They'll talk more details on this, but they're going to help an office understand about data migration and staff training. And then they're there. They're there to when the office goes live. So anyway, I'm going to turn this over in a moment, and I'm going to go ahead and just bring up these testimonials as Jackie and Ronnie talk a little bit about what that process is. So take it away, guys.
Thanks, Ken. So the first thing that we're going to touch base on is during the implementation process, we go over planning and preparation. So when you move forward with us, you will receive an Asprodental agreement. Once that is signed, you'll receive a welcome email either from myself or Ronnie, and we'll kind of go over what your target start date is. You'll also receive an onboarding and data conversion checklist. And this checklist is basically a step-by-step process of what to expect during your transition. Then if it's something you want to prep your office for before training, we do have asprodental.com/learn. And that gives you a basic overview of the software, FAQs, and quick little tutorials inside of it. And then with data migration and training, these are happening simultaneously. And we design this so that your office doesn't have any downtime. Usually the office will have 2 trainings. One is an in-depth overview, and one is split between front and back office. As you go live, when that date approaches, our team will do one last data extraction to ensure that we have everything by that time.
Great. Thank you.
Ronnie, you want to take it away?
Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute, Ronnie.
Thank you, Ken. Sorry about that. Once we get to that go live date, Jackie or myself will be on a Zoom call with the office. We know that the first few days can be a little overwhelming, so we kind of want to be there as a guide to go through the day and answer any questions as they come up. We normally do a 2-day Zoom call just so we can touch with your front office and your clinical, and we can really spend time with them and answer any questions that they have. For ongoing support, we create a patient in your portal, Asprodental Care, that you can text directly on your scheduler. So at any time you have a question that pops up, you can always reach out to us. For calls, emails, you can chat with us on your website. We recommend downloading a little app called TeamViewer, that's just so that we can remote in and go over like on the phone support so we can see what's in there. As Jackie mentioned, we have Aspro/Learn, and there's quick little tutorials on there as well as FAQs that you guys can always look at. So we're always there to help and support.
Thank you, guys. like I said earlier, and I always date myself here quite a bit when I say it, but I've been doing this for almost 40 years. And I can say unequivocally that the support, the training, the care, the concern, the simpatico of working with folks that come from dental backgrounds is, I've never seen anything quite like that. So it's one thing to be able to sometimes get support from somebody that knows the program, and that's important. But to get support with people that actually get what's going on in the practice, that can understand that, where the challenges can be, that is something that is amazing to me to be able to offer. And you'll notice that on these client testimonials, 3 out of 4 of them are just raving about the customer service. And so, although feature and functionality is very, very important, but if you don't have the other piece of it, you're going to potentially end up with something that is really difficult to maintain in a busy practice. And so these guys take it very seriously. Like they said, they're going to be there day one, all day long with an office as they go live. They'll be back again at another periodic time and again. But they're always available through that portal. They're available through the website. They're available through toll-free number. They can share the screen, and they're going to understand from both knowing the program well as working in the office. So this is really something that I think helps set us apart from a lot of our competitors out there. And I do like to say one thing that I've never been able to say in my entire time of doing this. This is a dentist-backed company, meaning that the investors in this company are dental offices. I have not seen that anywhere else. That means that the focus, the input is coming from offices that are using it. So their input is about how to make the program better and even easier, because all things evolve as they should. We're not beholden to these large venture capital investors that are simply looking for profits. So that's a very unique piece right there. I was really excited when I heard about the dentist-backed aspect of this. And so even though people are very happy and things are working out great, there's always input. There's always ways to grow and even be better. And Asprodental has been one of the most receptive companies I've ever worked with in terms of listening. Doesn't always mean they can do it the next day, but that means that eventually that these things are going to happen and things are going to evolve. So I'm very excited about that. And as you probably can see right there, there's a lot of great information from that. We're going to get into the Q&A here in just a moment. Again, my name's Ken Kingsbury. That's my cell. That's the toll-free number to get through to Asprodental. That's my email. And if you want to get a more in-depth demonstration from me, you just go to asprodental.com/demo. It's that simple. It'll take you right through some simple questions about the office, what you're currently using, etc. And then you can look at the calendar that shows you my schedule when I'm available, and then it's that simple to book it. So I look forward to an opportunity to work with all you guys if you're interested, and or answer questions by phone. Jackie and Ronnie are also available. They have that different kind of background than I do, actually being in the office, working day to day. And then the founder of this company is a dentist. Everybody has a dental connection with the company, which is great. So there's all kinds of great perspectives there. So let's take a look at the what's come in so far with the Q&A. So somebody asked the question there of how long are the text messages saved? They are saved forever. So that's really important. because some of the systems out there at the end of the day, at the end of the week, those messages disappear. We keep those there forever so you can refer back. It's a great way to have that. Calls the texting number. Does it come to the? Yes, it does come to the office number, which is great. Oh, if someone calls the texting number, does it come back to the office server? Yes. Can you convert our clinical notes from Dentrix? Yes, we can. All of your clinical notes and your charts and things like that come over. That's going to be a big advantage. And I want to remember earlier when I told you that you could search on any word or phrase inside there. We can also search on your old Dentrix or EagleSoft or Open Dental. Any of those things that we bring over, we can search on. Yes, somebody already asked that question that I just answered. Are the clinical notes searchable? Yes, they are. And I don't know if I've even seen that in another program, but it's not something that's typically out there. Yes, that is true. Somebody's asking about the Change Healthcare that was hacked. Vine Trellis was not. And I know a lot of even people that are on different programs out there are trying to get on the Vine. So that has been secure. That's worked great. We're very happy with that. They are a great company, by the way. And there's additional things that even come along with that, like in-office communications and eligibility and verification and things like that. So that's really great. And then lastly, yeah, adding another location. I did touch on that. I want to say again that that is a very simple process. And then not only are we adding another location, but that is then seen and accessed from anywhere that you're using Asprodental. You can move patients between those locations just by dragging and dropping, and you can report on location and provider. This is not something very easily done with a server-based system. It can be very laborious and very difficult. Anything you guys, Jackie, Ron, anything you guys want to add? Looks like there's a couple of chats that came in here too. Let's see. I see them. Those are already same questions that came through. So
Someone did ask if we have support for the East Coast, and yes, we do. We may not be on the same time as you, but we will get to you as soon as we can. We're up from 7 to 5:30, so we'll get to you when we can. But we do support the East Coast.
yes, yeah. I've taken a couple of early calls from the East Coast, and we're happy to do so. We understand that when there's a question that comes up, we want to be able to answer it as quickly as we can for you, so that you guys are not, sitting around waiting for that. So, any other questions? And if not, then please do reach out to us. I'm happy to take a phone call at any time. And let me see if I can, get that back on the screen there. So that's my cell. That's the toll-free number for Asprodental. There's an email. If you want to set a demo again, it's asprodental.com/demo on there. And that gets you right in. You can see what's available and make an appointment. And that's what I do. I do presentations, and I'm always happy to do them, and I'll do as many as necessary. And I do come with a pretty extensive background working in dental offices as a consultant. So lots of questions I can help you with along those lines. I want to thank all of you for participating. Some of you I know are 2-3 hours ahead, and so it's a little bit later for you. And I want to especially thank you for taking that extra time. And I also want to thank my team members, Jackie Momolo and Ronnie Diamond. They are worth everything to have them there responding. We even have a user chat that they are very responsive on if there's anything that comes up. So again, thank you. My name is Ken Kingsbury, and I will definitely be available for additional questions and presentations. So we're going to end this shortly if nothing else comes in for a Q&A. And yeah, great. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. All right. Bye-bye.